rather
Right, so we
aggressive victory coming from the Saigon Jokers, and the Fat Rabbit not being able to respond to that too well. So Corky and Syndra being banned out by SAJ, and Pantheon being banned out by TFR thus far. We have to see how the rest of the pick and ban goes so far. The Fat Rabbit traditionally they've banned out all the OP champions, and they have been having a little bit of problem doing with Pantheon. So that's going to be the Pantheon ban. And they're going to be banning out the flavor of the Mandar as well. I do believe we should be seeing Lissandra ban somewhere coming in somewhere here as well.
Right, so SAJ choosing to ban out that Corky. They do know that Peshchat plays a crazy Corky. Just gonna not even let him have that option. Nami is gonna be last ban, so that's targeted at Crazy Pine. If with that Nami ban and SAJ be on the blue side, I'm not gonna be surprised if they choose for that trash first pick. Team Fat Rabbit have the last ban to go. Will it be the Lissandra as you mentioned?
So all the OPs being banned out by the Fat Rabbit over here. We have to see what Saigon Jokers go for as their first pick.
Right, so trash being the priority because Nami has been banned out unless they want to opt for another option. So we'll keep our eyes out from that. Lucian or Graves did pretty well that previous game, but I doubt they picked that
Come on,
carry.
Ian, come on, give us a prediction over here. Why do you think SAJ will lock in?
I really think that trash will be locked in, but Safety did do very well on that Lee Sin, so that is an on-out option. So they do lock in that Lee Sin. Jokebot and D-Land have to respond with their own picks.
So we have to see if they go for the Javan once again. It made lots of impact in the early game previously, but towards the mid game, I'm not really sure how well he really did. So it's going to be the Janna as well as the Lucian being picked up for the Fat Rabbit. We have to see how Saigon Jokers will be reacting to this one. They first picked the jungler for themselves, and the Fat Rabbit not showing too much of the strategy as well, going for the support as well as the AD carry, locking in the bottom lane. I do believe that this should be Saigon Jokers' bottom lane being locked in as well. I would think that this should be either an Astro or Grace being picked up for Prince to play, and a Trash for Sue. Or he could be going for the Alistair as well, because Saigon Jokers, they've been playing a lot of these very hard engaged champions, Alistair as well as Leona. We have to see if that happens.
Right, so we did see this the previous game, but TFR did ban out the Alistair, so Saigon Jokers do have that option now. They look towards that Rumble pick, which Nyx Waller did fantastically well on. Equalizers really did a whole lot of work on the side of Ferrabit. But they do choose that Tristana as they lock it in. So Tristana up against that Lucian as the AD carry. Tristana doesn't really have the best of laning phase, so we might be seeing another lane swap coming in.
So the thing here about Tristana is the Saigon Jokers, they selected their win conditions early on in the game. They want the early power spike coming from Rumble, but this is a little bit conflicted with the Tristana, who wants to be hitting a power spike much later into the game at about 30 minutes. But it's going to give Saigon Jokers a very good investment plan, because if they're able to tide over the early stages of the game with the Rumble, they should be able to do quite well with the Tristana and the later parts of it. We have to see what Fat Rabbit reacts to this with though, because I do believe we will be seeing one of the picks coming over here, and they have seen the Tristana. They are hovering over the Malphite. Looks like they just want to go for a hard engage onto the opponents here and simply lock them down and find the kills as soon as possible.
So D-Dad's going to opt for that Javan once again. That Malphite pick should probably be going to Jokebot in that top lane. So as you mentioned, they will be looking for the hard engage, but it looks like it will be that Nocturne pick coming in. So we will be seeing that global presence coming in from Ferrabit. What does SAJ respond to this, as they do counter global with global as they hover over that TF?
Oh, very interesting to pick the Nocturne over here, trying to foreshadow the Twist of Fate that Lovita has been loving to play thus far. But looks like Saigon Jokers, they do lock in the Alistair over here. Oh, is that gonna be the Diana? We haven't seen Diana for a long period of time. I would definitely love to see that coming from the Saigon Jokers. Nonetheless, they are investing a lot into the later stages of the game. So now owners will be on a Fat Rabbit to put pressure on their opponents and try to close out the game as quickly as possible. Oh, in fact, it's gonna be a Katarina. So it looks like Saigon Jokers, if they do lock in this Katarina pick, it's gonna be full investment into the skilling phase of it. Okay. I think they're just trolling us at this point. They're shuffling around the champions quite a bit, but it is going to be Lovita on another assassin. It is going to be the LeBlanc, and let's see what the Fat Rabbit will go for in this case. LeBlanc doesn't really have the best of wave clear at the moment, so we have to see if they go for a very strong sieging champion such as the Jace in the mid lane in this case. Come on guys, go for the Jace.
Alright, so Panda Pause has that mid lane pick open. Well, we do know that Fat Rabbit have two mid laners, and Panda Pause is considered the more wave clear oriented champion, utility based. with the Zera pick being his favorite pick. So will we see Jace coming out? He does have the wave clear as Jace, so Ferrabbit have to go up against his LeBlanc. Meanwhile, we see Su picking up his Alistair, so you called it.
Oh, it is going to be the Ahri instead, so it's going to be Assassin versus Assassin in the mid lane. Well, Ahri does a pretty fine job at sieging as well with the skill shot to catch up people under the turrets. You can use the chop to bring them towards you and let the rest of the team follow up on them. So we will be seeing how these two teams fare up against each other. On the south, Saigon Jokers, a little bit of a mishmash coming from them, investing heavily into the late game in the form of LeBlanc, Alistair, as well as Tristana. And for the Fat Rabbit, we will see them going for more of a team fighting composition, with the big potential coming from the Ahri and the disengage coming from the Janna as well. They're going to have a very good control over when the team fight is really breaking out if they're able to hold on to the ultimate as well. But they have to take this away from the previous game. There was way too much split pushing coming in from Panda Paws as well as Past Trap. They need to be able to stick more quickly and group faster with the team if they want to deal with the aggression the Saigon Jokers might be able to bring.
Right, so we saw the previous game, Ferrabbit, they did take a good lead in the start, which might benefit them more this game, considering that SAJ do have the later team comp. So we'll be seeing how Ferrabbit really pulls out the early game aggression from the side of...
you know, for a second I thought you were going to say put a rabbit out of the hat. There's going to be one very fat rabbit that they're going to be pulling out if they want to make this magic happen against the Saigon Jokers. Because so far I haven't really been too impressed by the play the fat rabbit players have shown us.
So Ferrabbit have to bring out this game. Coming back from a loss, how will they recover? They do have that team fight oriented comp. SAJ have to hold off the aggression coming from TFR and go into that late game where they will definitely shine with the equalizer as well as the LeBlanc burst. TFR have to pull the trigger early on.
Definitely indeed. So Saigon Jokers, I mean, I have to say though, safety here has definitely established jungling game quite a fair bit. His Lee Sin hasn't really been the most impressive in previous series, but in the previous game against the Fat Rabbit, he was landing a lot more of the skills and was having a lot more pressure around the map. We saw a lot of the aggressive posturing in his opponent's jungler, just waiting in the red buff, just waiting for any support, any jungler to come in and then catch them out and full up with Lovita coming from the backlines as well.
So it was almost a complete 180 considering that D-Dan was the one putting on aggression on the side of Saigon Joker's jungle. But safety, even though he didn't really do much counter jungling, he did have the vision that he needed to really spot out the side of Ferrabbit and really capitalize on that. So Ferrabbit might have to take a page out of Saigon Joker's book and really abuse the fact that they love their aggressive jungling and really take that into...
Definitely indeed. So once again, we're on the live server, so this would be a short 3-minute delay so that no ghosting or cheating is allowed, so that no one can watch the stream and say, oh, there's a ward over here, oh, he's gonna be ganking at this time, because by then autoplay will have happened and then we'll be broadcasting everything with a 3-minute delay. So let's see how the Fat Rabbit, if the Fat Rabbit will be able to take the second game against the Saigon Jokers.
So this game will have a lot of focus on the ultimate. So level 6 is where all the action begin. Unstoppable Force, Paranoia, Arich, Dashes. Ferrabbit have the very powerful level 6. Saigon Jokers, they have the equalizer, they have the Buster Shot. It is gonna be a very explosive level 6 fight if a fight really actually breaks out. So we'll be looking at that as well. Su on his Alistair.
So once again, it's back to us, the casters, which means that we will be going to game very shortly. So once again, I'm Jason. I'm casting with me. Some of the substitute casters is Freedom over here. So give him a shout out, give him some encouragement on Twitter, on this chat whatsoever, because we're gonna need it. Because coming up, some very exciting games on the GPL.
Right, so you see on your screen on right now the team of SAJ Saigon Jokers. So we did talk about
going from left to right. I do believe there's Romeo, the substitute for the team, Prince, Lovita, Nix Water, Su, and I think I mixed up two other players. And Safety. Yes, Safety's on the right.
Right, so SAJ, we talked about them. They are Oh, they were the #1 team coming from Vietnam, but that spot has been taken over by
So here we
SFF.
are into the game. TFR spawning on the red side, and on the blue side we are gonna have, come on observer, on the blue side we're gonna have Saigon Jokers. Both teams just spreading out evenly along the map, trying to spot each other out so far. Now we see Prince moving up to the top side. Is the Saigon Jokers gonna be going for the lane swap once again? They see Safety making some aggressive movements in their opponent's jungle over here. D-Dan spots out Prince. They exchanged a little bit of high fives and chunk some damage onto each other. D-Dan coming out slightly behind it, but I do believe a recall as well as the passive regenerations gonna be making nothing happen after that.
Next Waller just gonna try and melt that Glacier Malphite, but that fire is not hot enough to burn through that. Safety is just gonna poke his head around. Crazy Pine saws that he is there, so both teams not really going in for any aggression right now. Just gonna hover around their own entrances. They do know where each other are, so oh, Prince just gonna get hit again. So wards are gonna drop down. Not much aggression coming in. As yep, TFR are going to initiate the lane swap with Peshap going up this top lane. They do expect SAJ to go for that, so it will be a 2v2 unless SAJ changes around.
So it's the Fat Rabbits who are going to be going for a lane swap this time around. They're going to be grouping up as 4. However, they know that Brush is watered out already. Looks like they've gone a little bit early in this case. But nonetheless, it's going to be a simple trade of buffs. It looks like Saigon Jokers will be starting on the bottom side instead. And it is the Fat Rabbits sent to initiate the lane swap instead.
Right, so the Fat Rabbits were trying to lane swap to get that 2v2, but it looked like SAJ out-rotated them. They saw them with the ward, so Tristana just gonna head back to this bot lane as they do trade buffs, so pretty simple start coming in from both sides.
So now on the red side over here, and I'm just going to explain the lane swap once again, because in the lane swap the objective is to try to get your top lane ahead in terms of experience, and this is going to result in a power spike on your AD carry, who is going to be having lots of solo lane experience. The people who fall behind are the junglers as well as supports in this case. Panda Pulse as well as Lovita trading back and forth quite a fair bit. Panda Pulse just using his auto attacks to put on some damage onto Lovitas.
Alright, so we see Joke Bot sticking around with D-Dan, so as similar to last game. Oh, it looks like SAJ gonna pull off a sneaky dragon.
For a very sneaky dragon over here. With TFR be able to sniff this one out. So far they've done a pretty fair job of dealing damage to the dragon, so I do believe this dragon will be going down at about 3:30, and we have to see if the Farabit they have any idea if this is happening at all. So it looks like Saigon Jokers, they will be picking a very early dragon for themselves 3 minutes into the game. And this is the thing, when you lane swap, you do control the bottom side of the map, and the Saigon Jokers, they pick up the first dragon of the game for themselves.
Right, so with that lane swap, they lost that presence at the bot lane, so that gave up a free dragon. With 4 men down, they just simply rotated aggro and didn't really took much damage, so very nice kill on the dragon. Pentapulse is going to drop very low, Ignite coming down, but it's not going to get dropped anytime soon.
So there's a summoner spell coming out, and Pentapulse actually falling behind the LeBlanc early on. No real pressure from D10 coming in just yet. He picks up this Nocturne. He knows he wants to farm. He knows he wants to farm loads in the jungle Tasfa. And look at the warding coming from Crazy Pine, doing a good job of spotting out his opponent's jungle Tasfa, dropping out his green wands. But Safety now starting at the bottom side of the map. We actually see 2 junglers meet each other as the Fat Rabbit, they've moved into opponent territory, and now we see both AD carries duel up against each other in the top lane over here. But Su has chosen to come up to the top lane, and he will be joining Prince.
Right, so with the dragon taken, both the side of SAJ just gonna send their laners back to the original lane. It's gonna find Nick's Water up against Joke Bot. Su's gonna go very aggressive on this patch trap. They do know that he has no backup yet, so gonna try for that attempt, but they're not gonna get it. Patch trap now knows something's going on, just backs out there safely.
So Pashap loses a fair bit of experience after the very aggressive roam from Su zones him up, but here comes Crazy Pine, and it's going to be the Fat Rabbit sent to try and zone away Prince. Here comes Pastmic with a very aggressive, relentless pursuit to drop some damage down to Prince, but the Eye of the Storm goes on the wrong person. So this is going to be a fully swapped lane now, with both AD carriers or support going up into the top lane. However, Fat Rabbit, they have a slight CS lead on the major carry, so we see them 400 gold hit. But in exchange, Saigon Jokers, they took control of the bottom side of the map early, and we see them taking the earlier dragon.
Right, so the side SAJ do have that buff coming from Dragon, so they will be doing a tiny bit more damage on as opposed to Fair Rabbit, so it'll be up to them to get the CS lead back into their own hands. They look like they are, as D-Dan's gonna come out to this top lane. Will he let the gank happen? Crazy Pine's gonna drop their sweepers. They do know that it's not water yet. D-Dan's just gonna back off as it is pushed up too deep, so nothing happening there.
So now the lanes have defaulted back to their normal stages. We actually see D-Dan still at level 4 because he had to share experience with his top laner for a little bit in the earlier stages. So, in fact, actually we see a slight hit of safety. He was spending more time killing the dragon. So, some engagements happening in the mid lane, but the very important power spike for the Fat Rabbit is when D-Dan is able to get the Paranoia ultimate at level 6. Oh, very interesting use of the headbutt to get close to his opponents and then getting the power rise down. D-Dan clearing out some ping wards, getting some vision pressure down to the mid lane. There's a lot of focus for both assassins because Ari's an assassin, LeBlanc's an assassin as well. Both of these champions want to be ahead of the goal curve to be able to find the assassination potential into their opponents. Pandapos misses the charm. And Lovita, this is his cue to go aggressive. Lovita misses the second distortion. And now Pandapos is going for lethal. And it's gonna be first blood. Pandapos slays Lovita in the mid lane.
Lovita was the first one hit level 6, but he missed his...
Oh, here comes safety in the top lane. Past Chep as well as Crazy Pine having to blow Crazy Pine's flash to escape away from that one. But with safety be making a second trip now, there isn't a ward to cover for them just yet.
A very nice tornado coming out of Crazy Pine to stop that engage as well. So back in this mid lane, Lovita was level 6 first, but he missed his second cast of distortion, which allowed Pandapos to have the time to reach level 6 as well and just counter out his own aggression and just take the kill for himself.
So this is going to give Pandapos a slight advantage in the lane because he's going to have a little bit more experience as compared to Lovita. Both of them, I do believe, will be going for the Morello Nomicon as a Teens and Holy Girl doesn't really itemize that well anymore.
But we take a look at the CS right now. Next Water is up on against the Malphite played by Jokebot, so
it's a very interesting role coming from Joe, but he isn't level 6 yet, but he's chosen to move around the map and he's going to be giving Nyx Water even more space to farm in the lane easily. So the blue buff does go over to Lovita in this case. So once again, just chunking damage down to Pandapos, doing a good job to trade up in this case. I will feel that the LeBlanc player will be a little bit pressured to deal with the Ahri due to the amount of sustain that comes in with Ahri's passive. As you can see, her orb is going green, which will mean that next time she casts a spell, she's going to get a whole bunch of regeneration. And we see Lovita trying to go in with the engagement, but he misses the Ichiro chains. At Pandapos, he tries to respond. Lovita just dropped way too low right now.
Very nice side stack coming from Pandapos. Just dodging out from that chain, not gonna get signed, so wasted gank coming from SAJ. Dragon's gonna spawn in 1 minute, so do they keep Su down in this area to pressure for that? Pandapos does know that Su is there, the ward's gonna spawn you out, so Su's gonna head back to this top lane. Crazy Pine is gonna walk back as well, so Crazy Pine's gonna hover around mid lane instead, so Dragon is up contest in 30 seconds.
Prince trying to trail out Fast Jab. He has a culling available. He knows the jump has been used and he's just going for Prince right now. Prince dropped about half health. Oh, Su comes around front and back. Fast Jab, he flashes. And Su only headbutts him into safety once again. And by safety, I mean the safety of his turret, not safety the jungler. I mean, what a tricky name he has over here. It doesn't only trick his opponents, he tricks the communication as well. And it's like, oh, there's safety behind you, there's safety behind you. Wait, does it mean it's safe to go behind? No, I mean, it's the jungler that's behind you. Oh, wait, no, oh, too late. Lee Sin's behind you, and that's a kick into the rest of the team.
Right, so Dragon is live, so Farab is just gonna jump on it right now. D-Dan just gonna start working on it. Doesn't look like SAJ have any vision on this, so very nice timing from Farab. There goes the wall from Nyx Water, so but it is too late. Equalizer gets dropped, but it won't be the steal as Farab picks up the Dragon.
All the members are quite low at the moment, so LeBlanc can go in to try and pick any one of them up, but Lovita doesn't really want to pull the trigger just yet. And the Fat Rabbit, they will be able to pick up the Dragon for themselves, and now they find themselves at a small lead of 600 gold. Oh, Paschep just going ham and trading with Prince, and that's the ultimate coming from the Tristana.
As we mentioned, there is safety behind you, so Crazy Pine, will you go to safety?
But a safety coming up into the top lane, but it's not just 3 people, it's going to be the full 4 men as Lovita comes up as well. Ari is making the rotation to the top lane. Saigon Jokers once again positioning extremely aggressively, and they're just stealing out the opponent's buff. Oh, the Ari is going to come in, she's going to get spotted out. This is rather dangerous, but it looks like Saigon Jokers, they're just content to take the buff. And once again, Panda Pause. Panda Pause.
Panda Pause is a little bit too far out of range from safety, so they didn't really jump on that. Safety just gonna steal the red buff and back out of there. D-Dan is gonna go to the red buff and find out that it's not there anymore.
Su just getting harassed a little bit by Crazy Pan, but it doesn't care that much because, as I said, we have to heal to be able to try and sustain up in the lane if he takes harass damage from his opponents. Past Chap very nicely lining up the piercing leg over there to win the trade against Prince and Su.
So D-Dan is gonna start roaming out his top lane. He is 6, he does have that paranoia. The side of SAJ do have to be cautious. Crazy Pan is gonna overstay, he's gonna zone out the side of SAJ.
Not really sure if this is the best lane to dive for the moment. It looks like he will be hitting level 6 very soon. That's going to give him the Unbreakable Wheel ultimate. Oh, there we go. Are they going to be going aggressive? Now, this is rather dangerous for the Fat Rabbit. They try and set up over here. And there we go. It's recall from Su. The support recalls. They might just choose to go on to the mid laner. But now Pandapause, he misses the charm. But now Lovita, here comes the response of safety as well. The teleport comes in from top laner as well. Pandapause doesn't get the kill onto Lovita. And now Jokeball in a whole bunch of trouble. Next Water is there for a response as well. So Lovita, with the help of safety, does find a return kill onto the opponent's mid laner.
Very calm and collected play coming from Lovita. Even though he was getting bursted down by Pandapause, he wasn't afraid to turn around and land that snare, knowing that safety would be there to pick up the kill in return. Both teleports burn on the top laners, so really doesn't matter much. Dragon isn't going to be spawning anytime soon, so very, very well played on the side of SAJ, getting that kill on Pandapause and really turning the lane around.
Now Past Chap, he has to be a little bit careful over here because Su, he has the flash power rights and the hit button to his opponent's team. Oh, there we go. It's the Culling Prince drop extremely low, but the creep wave spawns just in time. But this is going to stop Prince from farming for a short while, so it makes it extremely dangerous with the Nocturne ultimate coming in.
Lovita is making his way up to this top lane. He has been spotted by a ward, so Past Chap's just going to choose the wise option, just back off from that, which will give Prince the time to really farm up and heal back with his lifesteal.
So far, a little bit of downtime, not as explosive as the previous game. Saigon Jokers, with these small movements around the map as well as the kill in the mid lane, have evened up the goal. It's a very close fight between these two teams at the moment there, but they have to watch the scaling on the side of Saigon Jokers. The Fat Rabbit, they need to be attacking a little bit more aggressively, but I think they're going to be waiting for the power spikes in order to find this advantage. We see Dylan once again moving up into the top, and it looks like he's going to be going on to Su, and there we go, tons of damage coming, but it's Unbreakable Will ultimate. Now, that's a major ultimate downs, lots of cooldowns being blown, but here we go. Are we getting caught up? But here comes the response. Paranoia going in safety, kicks them away, but no kills happening just yet as lots of ultimates being blown by both sides. Lovita dropping the double tap of the spells, Pandapause using the Spirit Rush, and the Paranoia coming from D-Dan.
So Farab's aggression in his top lane isn't really paying out that much. The attempted kill on the Su didn't really work out. They got countered by the side of SAJ, Lovita and safety, managing to come up to his lane, forcing D-Dan to use his Paranoia defensively. So that's another weapon of offense gone on the side of Fat Rabbits for at least for a few more minutes. So
here's the thing I have to criticize about the Fat Rabbits play. They picked the Malphite over here. He has a level 6 already, but we haven't seen him use his ultimate yet. So you want the Malphite to hit level 6 so that you can have the unstoppable walls coming in. He doesn't have the best time of laning, but you want to see this very aggressive type bots going into these lanes and just simply pressing R and catching up maybe say Prince or Lovita dating the tracks. But the Fat Rabbit, they haven't really been able to do that just yet.
right, so both power ultimates, Paranoia as well Force, hasn't really been used at all to really efficiency. D-Dan was forced to use Paranoia defensively, so SAJ really taking the consideration of the ultimates and really playing around them so well.
Oh, Next Water doing a very good job landing up against Jokeboy, finding himself a hit by 15 CS so far. Now Jokeboy, he needs to start making those roams, and Dragon will be spawning in another 40 seconds, so once again we have to see where the focus of either team is, and we have to see if Fat Rabbit will be willing to go for the objective. Now the Saigon Joker is a very tricky team, but oh, Penapos, he misses the charm, and Lovita is his turn with the jukes and the jives. All 3 charges are Spirit Rush used, but now Safety, he finds out Penapos over here. Does he find a kill onto Lovita? Safety kicks him away instead, but now it's Sue as well as Prince going on to Penapos, and that's going to be very dead Fox. Oh, are they going to be trying to give the kill over to Prince? Safety might drop low, but he decides he can't wait anymore. And he can't afford to give the kill over to Prince and takes the kill for himself. But with so many members invested up to the top lane, the rest of the Fat Rabbit, they just group around the Dragon and they started up for themselves. Past Chap, he's still pushing down on this turret, however.
Right, so Penapos going on aggressive against Lovita, managed to pick up that kill after Lovita stepping a little bit too carelessly back into the range. Pasha picks up the Dragon's turret rather, and TFR picks up a Dragon for themselves. So that's the second Dragon on the side of Farabits. Penapos' aggression in the mid lane really paying out as he took a kill on his own and drew the jungler up to his top lane. And even getting Safety chunked down pretty low considering that they were trying to give the kill to Prince. So Safety didn't even have the option to go and counter that Dragon. So very, very well played by Penapos.
So the Fat Rabbit doing a very good job of taking objectives this time, but now it's Lovita as well as Safety on the hunt. They might catch Dean out over here. Best Chap, he finds himself a little bit overextended, but he still wants to deal with Prince. Next water comes around the side. The equalizer is not available just yet.
Safety is on the backside, so Pasha has to get out here.
Oh, Pashap eats the double tap, and there we go. It's a distortion for the kill. Lovita simply picking up Pashap, finding him way overextended. Looks like there was a little bit of a miscommunication coming from the Fat Rabbits. The rest of the team, they saw the kill squad coming in, but they didn't relay the information over to Pashap.
Right, so Penapos is going to start pushing out this mid lane turret. SAJ, will they continue to push it bot lane? No, they will not. So this mid lane turret is going to go down in exchange for the bot lane. So it's going to be a 1-for-1 turret exchange with SAJ picking up Pashap on the side. Jokebot does have his ultimate up. Will they use it for another engage? Lovita's trying to go on this, but he's not going to land the chain, so he's just going to back off. So major ultimates on the side of Farabits are up. Paranoia as well as Master World for Spirit Rush as well. Oop, Crazy Pine's going to get dropped.
Crazy Pine once again getting caught out over here. Very uncharacteristic of him. And now he pops the Monsoon to get away from that one. Penapos tries to find a flank on his opponents. It's a 5-on-4 by Fat Rabbit. We still have not seen the Malphite ultimate just yet. They picked the Malphite. Joe Boss played the Malphite. There we go. Finally! It is a huge ultimate. They find Prince. They get Safety as well. It's a 2-for-0. And let's see how much Fat Rabbit can get out of these 2 kills.
Right, so there is no turret in the mid lane, so they will have to try to get some advantage in the jungle or just push out the lanes. The 2 kills.
So now the Fat Rabbit, they're grouped up in the late lane and they want to push her. But Sue as well as Lovita, looks like they have something to say about that. We've seen how insane this LeBlanc pick can be. Penapos missing the charm over there. The rest of the Fat Rabbit, they need to group more aggressively in order to make use of the fact they just killed 2 members of the opponent team.
Next Waller picking up a turret from himself in his top lane, so SAJ not going to let up, even though they did lose 2 members, pick out another turret, so the turret counts are even now 2-2. Looks like Farabit not going to get anything from that 2 kills. As Nick's Waller just dropped some deep vision. Really played that vision game very well. Just check for the red buff as well, not going to find it. So SAJ playing the vision game, knowing where they are, not really letting D-Dan control the game with his paranoia. Unstoppable Force was used to get a very nice 2-man knockup, but that fight really didn't benefit them that much.
So looking at the items that have been completed already, the Tristana being very delayed in this game, he isn't that far behind Pastrak, but we saw him elect to go for the static shift first, so that's going to provide them a little bit more wave clear, because LeBlanc as a mid laner puts himself at quite a lot of risk when she goes in for the distortion wave clear. It's a very good adaptation coming from Prince, knowing they need to stall out the game as long as possible. There we go, it's the charm on the safety, but there's no ultimates to follow that up. It's a Foxfire coming around as well. Suhe busts her into the turret. It's a powerful rise. Lovita doesn't go for the follow-up. Oh, still getting caught by the charm, being dropped rather low. Penapos not willing to spot the Spirit Rush just yet. He doesn't really have the killer instinct. I do believe he could have gone for lethal over there. Now Lovita just trades back and forth with Crazy Pie. Penapos goes in. Does he get the charm? He gets the charm. Is he able to find the kill? Now here comes the damage being traded back and forth, but Safety is the one to get the kill instead. Now Crazy Pie will be the one to be caught out, and it's going to be a double kill for Safety in the mid lane.
Safety just saved Lovida's life, that safeguard, keeping Lovida on the edge of death. Safety really playing that lead into advantage. Gonna get another kick.
Pass trap, extremely dangerous there, but the kick's not available just yet. Here comes D-Dan with the re-engagement, but the AD carries nowhere to be seen, but finally pass trap rejoins the fight. Tons of things happening around the map. D-Dan being taken low, but here comes Joebot as well. Pass trap not able to do the damage he wants to his opponents.
Oh, so once again, Fair Rabbit putting out the heavy ultimates, not really getting much in return. SAJ is gonna take this blue buff for themselves. Dragon spawns in 1 minute 30 seconds, so they're not gonna get that. So they're just gonna back out from that, getting that kill onto Panda Paws and just backing off. So SAJ once again taking full control of the game.
So now the Fat Rabbit, once again, the problem with them is that they lack to focus to establishing all this vision, but they're not making use of it to aggressively attack their opponents. Saigon and Jokers have gone for the steal, killing team comp, and the Fat Rabbits 20 minutes into the game have not been able to punish them at all. The goal is to date even at 29,000 apiece.
Right, so Fat Rabbit do have that turret advantage, but SAJ, even though they are down in turrets, the goal is even, they are putting out the aggression, they are the ones who are starting the fights. Panda Paws looking towards the dragon area, 40 seconds on the dragon. Fat Rabbit is gonna make a play. They do have 2 dragons up, so this third one will be greatly beneficial as well. SAJ on the backside of Dragon, they know it's coming out as well. Gonna drop that vision.
20 seconds onto the Dragon over here. Saigon Jokers looks like they will be wanting to contest this one. It's going to be the third Dragon for the Fat Rabbit. It's going to give them a whole bunch of movement speed. Saigon Jokers this time, they're not fooling around. They've all grouped up and they definitely want to prevent the third Dragon for the Fat Rabbits from being taken. Looks like they will be going on to safety this time. Here comes Joebot. They instantly burst down the opponent's jungler and lots of damage coming in. Who's going to be the next one to fall? It is Panda Paws. The burst damage from Lovida, just way too much. Pass trap drop extremely low, and the Fat Rabbit, they will have to back away from this one. But now D-Dan is the one to be in a little bit of trouble right now. He's found him to split away from the rest of the team. Lovida goes in with the burst damage, and that should be an easy kill for the Saigon Jokers, as Lovida lands the final kill and gets the kill onto the opponent's jungler. So the Fat Rabbit, this is where they have to start being really worried, because they're going for all these hard engagement compositions, but they're unable to find the kills that they want. Saigon Joker is definitely starting to outskill them.
So 2 for 1 in exchange. They're gonna get this top inner turret. Patch Champ's gonna respond with the middle turret. Will Fat Rabbit be able to pick this up? Safety is gonna be right. Su's gonna come from behind.
Oh, Su comes from behind, but he bats him out of the relentless pursuit. And there we go. Safety is gonna be coming around. Is he able to find the damage onto him? It's the exhaust drop as well as the smite. And here comes the cavalry from the backside. Next water comes from Patch Champ knows he's safe, so he's trying to do as much damage as possible. But now he once again is on the run. But with the hitbox coming off cooldown, will he be able to find him? Jenna doing a good job of boosting up his movement speed. And there we go. It's a very dead 80 carry, as Saigon Joker is just simply going to clean up mode.
Exhaust was burned onto Lovida, so Lovida couldn't get into that fight as well. But there was a very nice carry from SAJ. They managed to take out the inner turret in the top lane, rotating down, making sure that Fat Rabbit couldn't get the inner turret. Patch Champ overstayed his welcome in the mid lane, but they will respond with a dragon.
You know, this is one of those moments that's like, oh, we just lost our where the opponent's thinking, oh, they just lost their AD carry, there's no way they'll do Dragon. And Fat Rabbit thinks, oh, we just lost our AD carry, our opponent is thinking that there's no way that we would think that we could do Dragon. So let's do the Dragon, and it's going to be the third Dragon, very sneaky one coming from the third Rabbits. And they're going to be picking themselves that nice movement speed boost to go alongside the Janna.
Right, so Fat Rabbit have that vision to see the SAJ recalling. They knew that Dragon was free for the taking, as you mentioned, so very nice play coming in. SAJ on the hand, they do have that inner turret in the top lane to push down the lane. They will look for this mid lane in first tier turret. So Lovida, will he go in for D-Dan?
Here comes the response as well. Su just charging forward, dodging out the charm as well. Fat Rabbit not being decisive enough, and now Crazy Pine is going to be caught out by safety. But the zone coming in from Joebot is enough for Saigon Jokers. At the same time, they know they only want the turret. They get it and they back away from there. Very disciplined coming in from them.
Unstoppable Force is up as well as Paranoia, so Fat Rabbit will have to be looking for a move pretty soon. D-Dan is quite low, so he has to go back to base first. Equalizer was used in that push to stop any aggression from Fat Rabbit, so SAJ just gonna slowly siege up. They do want to go into the late game. They do have that Tristana to scale into the late game, so SAJ are content with just getting a turret at a time.
And once again, the Fat Rabbit, they find themselves rather far behind, or rather slightly behind, and Just look at the split pushes that are happening all over the map. There's no focus, there's no decision coming from them, and the vision just scattered all over the place. The Fat Rabbit, they look like a complete mess right now.
On the other hand, SAJ look very together. They're gonna send 3 members down to this bot lane. Lovita is starting to push down this turret on his own. Jokebot is gonna be sent to respond to that. Su and Prince on the other hand is gonna head up to this top half of the map. We're gonna drop some vision. Crazy Pine spots them out, so both of them just gonna back off as well. Su's little crazy position.
Oh, there we go. Is that Paranoia? Who's gonna be the focus? They go on to next water, but they find safety instead. But here comes Lovita from the side. Jokebot comes in for a TP, but the Fat Rabbit are on the run. What is going on now? Lovita, he tries to go on to Jokebot instead, but here comes the return burst of damage. Khalid completely misses. Saigon Jokers coming on the right side right now. The fights might just break out. Is one of major ultimate down just yet, but Saigon Jokers, they don't feel confident enough, so they'll just be taking whatever they can in the jungle. And once again, past chap, he's farming the wolves.
So once again, Fat Rabbit putting out a very global presence, very heavy ultimate, and they didn't get anything out of it. Paranoia was burnt to not even a profile. They went for Nick's Waller, and Nick's Waller just flashed away from that. So SAJ are really on the ball when it comes to this. Equalizer is going to drop on the Malphite.
And Jokebot, he is going to be using the ultimate to escape away. So that looks like that's what they picked the Malphite for, so that you can move around the map anyhow, and if you get caught, you can use the ultimate to escape. It's a free flash. Comes up cooldown every 80 seconds. Why not pick Malphite? Fantastic idea.
Alright, so SAJ really abusing the fact that
I mean, it's a terrible idea. You don't want to be doing that with a Malphite. There's just poor play coming from the Fat Rabbits, not having any focus, not deciding on any part of the map to attack, and not being able to put any pressure on the Saigon Jokers at all. And we just see Jokebot not being able to make use of his ultimate in any way.
Right, so SAJ really abusing the fact that they are making sure TFR can't use the ultimates offensively, making them use the ultimates defensively, not making any mistakes, not going to get caught out by Paranoia. They really are, they have the vision game, they have the team game, they are always together. No one's going to get caught out by Paranoia, and SAJ really taking the game in their hands. So Infinity Edge completed on the side of Tristana, Prince, so he is going to start dealing out that damage. Lovita has his death cap. Panda Pause has opted for that Zonia Hourglass instead, so we'll be seeing the 2 majors in the mid lane find out some more. Su just gonna hold that quick wave for his hammer.
So both teams are grouped up around the mid lane at the moment. So Fat Rabbit, they will definitely want to be able to find the picks that they need to take out those major objectives. They haven't taken anything other than the ultimate turrets. And now the Saigon Jokers, they're approaching the 30-minute mark, when Tristana starts to get the level 14, when it starts to become extremely difficult to reach a scaling range. So the Fat Rabbit, they're going to be in a whole bunch of trouble.
Lovita is on the sides. He's gonna go up for that push in the bot lane, so SAJ is going to split up 1 and 4. Rumble is going to stick around that jungle side. Equalizer is up for any engagers if they want to go for it. Lovita is going to split push. They're going to send 3 members, 4 members down to do with Lovita. SAJ, will they have an answer? Will they start pushing out this mid lane instead? So
now Saigon Jokers, once again, they're the more decisive team. Pastchap just split pushing, trying to duel on an assassin in the bottom lane. Not really sure what he tries to achieve out of that, but now Saigon Jokers, they should be able to pick up this objective. But here comes the ultimate coming from Jokebot. Once again, it is the ultimate onto Prince, but Pandapok coming in from the back. He's unable to find the assassination. Crazy Pine gets the reset, but it's the assassination on the Pastchap. The Fat Rabbit just simply falling apart against Saigon Jokers. Oh, once again, they do find a kill over on the next water, and Su finds himself overextended. Lovita tries to go in, but an accident exhaust coming in from Crazy Pine will be able to slow him down, and they do get a kill onto the mage assassin. Oh no, Lovita is still alive, and now Jokebot's the only member left from the Fat Rabbit. He tries to go in with the engagement, he gets the kill onto Lovita, but Prince, he has the shield coming in from the safeguard from Safety, and Safety should be able to find this kill into Jokebot rather easily.
Prince
auto attack, 2 more in fact. Oh, he misses the Tempest and Cripple. Jokebot still on the run. The next Sonic Wave will be able to do this. It is the shield coming in from the Malphite, just like the passive, and it's going to be the long chase. It is the slow coming from Safety, but finally he's under the turret. The shield, it has respawned. The turret tries to save him, but now Safety is under the turret and out of energy, but he will be able to escape away from that one.
So Prince was left untouched in that previous fight. Jokebot got a beautiful 4-man knockout with that Swirl Force, but there wasn't any damage coming in. Peschek was caught off guard at the side. Lovida managed to snipe him out with that LeBlanc assassination. And Prince was just there to do cleanup duty. And now SAJ is going to get their dragon in return. So that's a turret as well as a dragon for the side of SAJ.
Very disappointing series from the Fat Rabbit this time.
So Paranoia is going to come off cooldown once again very shortly. Fat Rabbit have not used those ultimates to their advantage at all this game. Even though they did line a very nice 4-man knockup underneath the turret, they didn't have the coordination to actually have the damage to burst out any targets at all. So SAJ really on the ball, dodging these ultimates. So Fat Rabbit are posturing around the dragon area. They do realize the dragon has been taken off, so they are going to back off. Lovida has been sent once again on split pushing duty. He's going to serve up the top lane.
Oh, there we go.
Off.
It's a blind engagement on the next water. There's no follow-up from the Malphite. The Ari does catch on safety, however. And now the Fat Rabbit, they find themselves locked up on top of the equalizer, but they're able to disengage away past Chap in a hot zone. But it is going to be Didan who falls to Prince coming in from the side. The Tristana doing so much damage. The Fat Rabbit now on the run. Here comes Lovida. Will he be able to find anything? He gets knocked up, however. But Saigon Jokers, they still haven't taken any casualties. And without their opponent's jungler, they might start to make some moves towards the Baron Pit area.
D then going a little bit too early there. His team wasn't ready to follow up. The Malphite knockout wasn't there to combine with that. So he died for the sake of that. As SAJ will be going after this Baron. TFR have no vision of this. So this will be a free Baron for the side of SAJ. And Fat Rabbit are just looking disjointed. They aren't playing as a team at all. The damage isn't coming out at all. The ultimates, they're not linked up at the same time. So Aswell Force comes out and they don't have any damage to deal with the targets that are knocked up. Paranoia goes in and no one's there to support D-Dan. So Fat Rabbit is going to just look for any amount of gold they can get from their jungle. They are down 6k gold. SAJ have the game in their control. Lovida once again sent on Split Duty. Safety is going to get hit by a charm, but no damage can come out there. Prince has his last whisper completed. So that's another power spike on the side of SAJ to be watching out for. SAJ watching, looking around the corner. They are going to drop the wards. They do have the vision game up. Prince does know he's in danger. 4-man's going to send on a hunt for Prince. He's just going to get out of there. Lovida still in the split Prince duty at the top lane. SAJ just toying around with Fat Rabbits right now.
So now the Saigon Jokers, they're just going to be looping around. They might find out the opponents over here. They then playing things very dangerously. Oh, this is really bad for the Fat Rabbit. They find themselves 6,000 gold behind, and his Prince on the Tristana. Extremely fat now, although he only has got 1 kill to his name. This is a static shift, Infinity Edge, as well as Last Whisper completed for him. And here's the important thing about Tristana. At level 16, you get all the range you need to be able to get so much distance from your opponent's AD carries.
So SAJ is going to send Lovida, Prince rather, on the surprise
duty. Lovida tries to go in for an engagement. Instantly, Crazy Pine gets deleted. Now Saigon Jokers, they are on the chase. They get 1. Would they be able to get any more? Here comes Chokeball. He gets 4-man knockout. Is this the fight that they are looking for? Safety and a whole bunch of trial. Panapos tries to go for Lovida. He gets the kill, however. Now Paschap trying to do as much damage as he can. But here comes Prince jumping over the wall. And it's going to be a double kill for the Ari. But the response will be able to pick him up.
Prince, even though he was... So as TFR went for the engage, knowing that Prince was sent to the bot lane, they managed to get a decent amount of fight, but Lovida picking off Crazy Pie at the start meant that it was a 4-on-4. So instead of going on 4-on-5, they just didn't have the amount of damage they needed. Crazy Pine being dropped instantly meant that they had no disengage. They had no safety against safety. So with Prince just coming in late, he just cleaned up the fight, and SAJ managed to take out their fight to themselves. But TFR managed to defend the turret, so it's not over yet. Paranoia and Assault Force will come back up shortly. Fairrabbit slowly staying in this game. So if you take a look at items right now, Lovida has a huge amount of AV. He has the voice stuff, so he will be doing a lot of damage. Prince gonna start building up his Blood Ring King. He's gonna be unkindable once he gets that up. Su going with that Face of the Mountain is providing a lot of safety for his team. Safety going for the Banshee's Veil as well, being that tanky beast in the front line. So SAJ do have all their areas cornered. TFR on the other hand, they have all their kills on Panda Paws. All the goal on the side of TFR on Panda Paws, and they go engage.
They find safety out here, but Prince and Su are there for the rescue. The Fat Rabbit, they're definitely trying to corral the opponents. They've caught them out 5 against 3, but they back away. Not really sure what they are trying to achieve at the moment. Once again, I'm talking about all this lack of focus, and the Fat Rabbit is just so symptomatic. They're just lacking any real objective sense around the map.
Rumble is playing out, put this bot lane, 5-man stack from TFR on his mid lane. Will they get collapsed all by SAJ? SAJ looking around the sidelines. D then knows that they're there. Dragon is up. Su goes in.
Now Su goes in for an engagement. He gets 2 knockouts where we see Lovida on the side trying to do as much as possible. But Prince gets caught out, and then it's the AD carried out past Chef still alive, trying to do tons of damage. But here comes the equalizer on the multiple members. Su goes in with the multiple knockup past Chef. He goes in for the hunt, and he gets the double kill onto the support. Nyx Water now the next focus over here. Lovida tries to get assassination, but is unable to do so. Panda Paws is the one who gets the kill instead. 3 members down, and this stage of the game is going to be a pretty long death time, as we have to see what Fat Rabbit will be able to do with this.
Fat Rabbit finally playing off their strengths, using that paranoia as well to Unstoppable Force. Lovida was trying to burst out Crazy Pine while that fight was going on. Fat Rabbit finally realizing that Prince was the one doing all the damage that they were dying to. So going after Prince at the start meant that Lovida couldn't burst down Crazy Pine, so that just left them open.
And that is going to be the inhibitor. Fat Rabbit, they're turning around for the Dragon. This should be Dragon number 4 for them if Saigon Jokers, they don't have a solid response to it. And straight away past Chap dodges into it. Panda Paws will be recalling. Once again, Fat Rabbit, not all the members on the same page. Extremely dangerous over here. Now we see them finally recalling. There's going to be Dragon number 4. That's going to give them the pushing power. Saigon Jokers, however, they have all respawned. And now Fat Rabbit, they will have to haul it out of there and mount the defense once again. They've caught out the opponents once. It's going to be approaching the 40-minute mark, and with an open inhibitor on one side and no altar turrets available for the other, any one team fight right now, you take 3 for 0 against your opponent, and that's going to be the game.
So both the top and the bot lane are pushing out by minions. SAJ are going to group up in this mid lane. TFR doing the same thing, so they do know that they want to go in for that. So let's see if a fight breaks out. Paranoia is going to come off cooldown very shortly, so Fairrabbits have to win a few more fights if they're gonna stay in this fight.
Oh, D-Dan, my God, get caught over here. Bash Chap doing as much damage as possible. They have used their first round of burst already. Now Su using the shield to prevent the damage coming from the culling taskbar. But Jokebot needs to land another major ultimate to multiple members. Saigon Jokers, they're playing a little bit too clustered for my liking, to be honest. But we have to see if Jokebot, as well as the Fat Rabbit, will be able to capitalize on that. And now they're split. Will this be the engagement? Paranoia is available. Unstoppable Force is available. Safety, he's trying to be not so safe over here, but the Fat Rabbit not pulling the trigger just yet. They know that this is crunch time. Any won or lost team fight will win the game, and with that previous fight being won by them, they are only sitting 1,000 gold behind the opponents. But we cannot forget of the scaling on the opponent's side just now. This might be the huge fight that we're looking for. Panda Paws getting chunked out by the LeBlanc. They need to be decisive. The Ari in a whole bunch of trouble. Here comes Safety. Here comes Past Trap as well. The Monsoon coming from Crazy Pie right on point is the exhaust onto the crowd. Not sure what they're trying to achieve with that past chap still alive, but so is Prince. Nyx Water, he pops the Zonias. Panda Paws, he tries to go for the execution. Ignite taking on the Prince. Prince is still alive, but he goes down. Past chap is still alive as well. Now Lovida is on the run. He gets a double kill, and it's currently a 3 for 2 in favor of the Saigon Jokers. Past chap trying to do as much as he can right now. D-Dan as well, he's dropped rather low. He's trying to find anyone he can to go in for the re-engagement. Test Chap, oh, they're trying to go for safety here, but they do not realize that LeBlanc's coming around from the side. Safety as well as D-Dan trying to do it up, but the fear procs, and is this going to be the kill onto safety? Oh, one more auto attack, one able to do it, but Pass Chap, he gets taken out by Lovita, way too greedy, and now D-Dan's going to be falling as well. It's the ace, and I do believe that this might be the Baron, the second Baron for the Saigon Jokers. Things falling apart for the Fat Rabbit.
Fat Rabbit managed to get an advantage out of the fight, but going a bit too greedy onto safety allowed Lovita to come back with the home guard, getting them another 2 more kills. And with death timers being like 30 seconds long, safety has the option to go for this Baron. They do have the inhibitor open in the mid lane, so SAJ has to defend their base before they go for this Baron. Another turret falls in the bot lane, so not all too bad from the fight, but Fat Rabbit going too greedy, they could have gotten more from that fight.
I have to say though, they have done a pretty decent job with the wave control thus far, but looks like we are at the 40-minute mark, Summoners, and this is where things start to get really crazy for both sides, because, I mean, previously at the 30-minute mark, one death is okay, you trade 3 for 2 is still fine, but now it's when any man advantage, if you get any kill, you get any pick, it's going to be really huge. And Saigon Jokers, they're going to be picking up the Baron for themselves, which is going to get them a rather large advantage over the Fat Rabbits. Dragon should be spawning, I believe, in another 3 minutes or so. And we have to see what happens over there.
Right, so with the Baron buff on hand, SAJ is going to start pushing out those lanes that are pushing in, so TFR will have to find a fight before they get pushed in. They're going to send Lovita back on this split opportunity. Lovita's going to pick up some items as well. So SAJ is going to go on the counter aggressive. Going to get 4 men in this mid lane. Going to pick up the red buff as well. So it looks like SAJ will be looking for the push this time.
So Saigon Jokers, they have split up a little bit. They're trying to get the last bits of items that they have on the side of Fat Rabbit a little bit more decisive, just getting the items and grouping it up. The Dragon, my mistake, I said 4 minutes, but it looks like it's going to be another 2 minutes until that happens, and that looks like it's going to be where the last fight of the game will be happening, or maybe Saigon Jokers, they're just going to force it down the mid lane. Are they going to catch out Jokebot? What are you doing? And once again, he's forced to use the ultimate to escape. That's not what you want the Malphite for. You want the Malphite for the strong engage, not using the ultimate as an additional flash. And now Fat Rabbit, they have to wait an additional 80 seconds. Lovita, is he gonna burst up Pass Chap? What are you doing? Pass Chap, oh, he's still able to escape, and there we go. It's a paranoia. They're going to Lovita. It is the shutdown. Is this the turnaround for the Fat Rabbit? Su doing so much damage. This is Alistar, but the Jenna's still alive as well. The Ice Nix Water, it is. The Zonya's being popped. All members of the Fat Rabbit still alive, but here comes Prince. It is gonna be the reset. That's 1. That's 2. How many more is he gonna get? It's number 3. And is he gonna get 4? Oh, Prince, he jumps in. 1 last auto attack, but nonetheless, Saigon Jokers, they win the fight 3-1. And it's gonna be a very desperate defense for the Fat Rabbit.
With the Unstoppable Force from Jokebot down, SAJ had nothing to feel underneath the turret. Paranoia came out, cooled down Lovita, but they had Prince on the back line doing so much damage. TFR had no answer to Prince, and Jokebot is just gonna go down. There's no defense for this. It looks like Prince is on a rampage.
Prince is still alive. Would they be able to do this? Jokebot will fall as well, but not before taking out Su. But that's not the person you want. You want the 80 carry. Death timer is way too long, and Saigon Jokers, they will take the Nexus. Fat Rabbit is taken out, and Saigon Jokers, they take the series 2-0, and they will be coming up on top of Group C without dropping a single game.